There's a kind of magic to making memories, to finding time for the little things and the big things, the new things, and the things you'll do over and over again. It's the magic of a job well done and a well-deserved day of rest, of living life to the fullest with the people you'd never want to live without. Fareway, closed on Sunday, open for life.
Iowa Fireworks Farm is Iowa's largest fireworks store. 6,000 square feet of hand-picked fireworks, over 50 brands and 1,300 different products to choose from. But they're also family-owned and operated. Iowa Fireworks Farm is the one stop you need to make before July 4th. You'll find them just south of the Metro. Take I-35 to exit 43 at New Virginia. Head east and look for the Big Red Barn. At Iowa Fireworks Farm, the toughest part will be deciding what not to buy.
Don't miss the biggest show of the summer, Kings of the West, starring Bone Thugs and Harmony, E40, Too Short, Mac 10, The Dog Pound, DJ Quick, Sugar Free, and Khadijah, live July 11th at Wells Fargo Arena. Don't miss Kings of the West with Bone Thugs and Harmony, E40, Too Short, DJ Quick, Mac 10, The Dog Pound, Sugar Free, and Khadijah. Get tickets now at HighVTix.com.
Two guys, two Chris's, one network. Iowa Everywhere. It's time for Two Guys with Chris Williams and Chris Hassel. Presented by Fareway Meat and Grocery from the Channel Seed Studios. Where? Everywhere. Live and always on demand at Iowa Everywhere.
What up? It's Monday, the 16th of June. It's Two Guys, Chris and Chris. We are presented, as always, by our friends at Fareway Meat and Grocery. I'm standing on stage yesterday, Hassel. They're getting ready to raise the curtain for my first appearance on a stage at the Iowa State University since I beat out Sipker, a theater major, for a lead role in a major production.
Why was this at Iowa State?
That's where they have this dance recital.
I thought this was a dance recital for your little kid.
It is, but they do it up at Stevens Auditorium.
Best damn theater in the state.
Yeah.
I thought this was some rinky-dink complex in,
no. This
in
is
Farrar.
It's a big freaking deal. And the guy to the right of me says, hey, Hassel's completely out of control. Skinless brats are the way to go. Right before the curtain raises, this random guy
This guy that was
going to
dance with you?
Yep. I'd never met him before, and he just was...
I love all the pictures that people are sending us of their skinless brat virginity, just like telling us that how great it is. They first experienced it. Yeah, it's a movement. Get on it.
Just loving those castrated brats. I almost threw a skinless brat on the grill yesterday because I grilled hamburgers.
I have an idea. Can you save the skinless brats that Fareway sent you, and we can grill them up on Friday when I'm at your house?
Well, yeah, I mean, they gave me quite a few. So.
Oh, I thought they just saved you like one pack.
No, they gave me quite a few. So I think, yeah, there'll be some left.
Hassel's already digging into the blue yummies. He's getting ready for you, Williams.
Yeah, I got some leftover Busch Light from when my mom was here.
Served Busch Light.
And I was out of beer, so I had to pop one on
elitist
Friday
Del Rey.
night.
Welcome to the program. I am going to ask for one thing here, and I didn't tell you I was going to do this. We're in the Channel Seed Studios, of course. So I am going to Florida later this week, and we are going to do a bit of an evergreen show for Thursdays, and I thought it would be fun to ask our live listeners to submit some mailbag questions for the show. Now, I don't know, Matt, do you want them to tweet in at us? Do you want them to just drop them in here? Maybe we can gather them, like the good ones.
We'll put a post out on X.
Okay, whatever you want. But, hey, this is your opportunity to be a part of the show. You can also be a part of everything we're doing here at Iowa Everywhere by liking our YouTube page. I know that seems like
Subscribing
yeah.
to the YouTube page.
Thank you. It's a big deal because what it does is it teaches these algorithms that you're there, right? It gives us like a tee shot. It's like our platform going to Game Day Men's Health is what happens when you subscribe. So thank you. There's a reason we ask for it. That's why. I'm just being honest with you.
We just hit the 15,000 mark on TikTok.
Yes.
Which is good. I think what are we closing in there on the YouTube? We're closing in on 10K.
10,000.
Yeah,
Let's get there.
I want to be at 50,000 by the end of 2020. By the end of 2026. I want to be at 50,000.
50,000 YouTube?
Yes.
Let's get to 10,000 by football season. How about that, guys?
We should
Come
be
on,
able to do
peeps.
that in our sleep.
Yeah, it's true. It's because people they listen and they're not subscribed.
Correct. It's insane.
And I'm guilty of this too. I actually, when I watch Iowa Everywhere shows on my TVs at home, I'm too lazy to log into my regular account. So I always watch as a guest, and you can't subscribe if you watch as a guest.
What's crazy, and you're right, I had done that. I probably have, 4 TVs in my house? Like 2 of them are probably like that. When you log in, it makes the experience so much better when you've subscribed to stuff you actually care about. Mm-hmm. Like what it serves you, and it's just so much better. Like mine is like all like Formula One racing and ghosts and aliens. It's amazing. And that's why you get so addicted to YouTube, because it's like always, oh, well, this guy's can't believe what you've seen here. Like the ghost of Dale Earnhardt showed up at a dirt track last night. So again, that's why we ask you, and it'll make your experience better. I promise.
Do you use the following page on X anymore?
I hate it.
Or do you use For You?
No, I hate the For You.
So that's all I use now.
Yeah.
And I found that
it just serves me so much crap.
Yes, but you also see stuff that you wouldn't see on your regular page.
You're right.
No, you can it's all algorithm based, so it can change in a hurry. And you're right, it can get to be a little bit much. But I find like if I'm on the following page that I'm missing out. So I'm constantly on the For You page now.
I just spend less time on that platform than I used to. Not that I don't have like a problem with it. It's just it's gotten to be so cluttered for me, and I think it might be because
this weekend was.
I mean, honestly,
between the Air India crash, the war between Israel and Iran,
mm-hmm.
the shooting of the lawmakers in Minnesota, and the manhunt. Thank God they finally found this idiot last night.
Mm-hmm.
And the U.S. Open. I mean, it was. I spent way too much time on the For You page, and you gotta be vigilant because they will serve you up some just absolute shit. But every now and then, you feel more engaged.
I just subscribed to an app. I actually paid for it. It's called Roots, and it controls your screen time. So like if you're like, so I will become like a problem I have is like Instagram scrolling, and then they serve like ads, right? And it's like, oh, I need that hat. Or so it will like literally lock you out of these apps after a certain amount of time.
See,
and
I can't do that to myself. We're
I'm
adults here. I was probably
mine's
on my
during
screen.
the workday.
Oh, it's only during the workday? Okay.
You can set it. So like, and then I have it from like 6 until 8 when I want to spend time with my kids that I can't get on Twitter. But like if there's the problem I'm having is with what we do.
Right.
Oh, Halliburton just hit a shot. Oh, I need to tweet about that. Right.
Everything that I do professionally is tied into my phone and social media. So I feel like I would just be hindering myself if I locked my own self out of my phone.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's complicated. We are presented by Fareway Meat and Grocery. We are in the Channel Seed Studios. I didn't watch a single.
Wait, hang on. Before we get into that, since we're coming off Fairway, we're talking brats and meat and all that. I had the worst steak of my life on Saturday.
Really?
At a steakhouse, a really nice restaurant that we had been to before. And I
What was so bad?
I totally choked. Not literally, figuratively.
Did it hit the back of your wife's head?
No, I did not puke it up.
Was your sister there?
No. It was at a very fine establishment. They had so they originally had this special. It was a 40-ounce porterhouse, okay?
It's a big steak.
It's big, but we share it. Well, they ran out of the 40-ounce porterhouse, but they had a 35-ounce T-bone.
T-bone!
And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, it's the server." He was like, "It's great, dog. That bone, so much, just juicy." And it's like, you know what? It's expensive. Like, I rarely order that because it's always just ridiculously expensive. It was $150. Okay?
What's a better cut, a porterhouse or a T-bone?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know the difference.
What would have been
Somebody tell
more
us in the
expensive?
comments.
Was the porterhouse more
Well, the
expensive?
porterhouse, they were comparable because the
Okay.
porterhouse was 5 ounces more, and it was the same price for the most part. So we take a chance. We take a big swing. We order this thing, and I always, in a restaurant, order my meat medium because it's closer to medium rare. It's closer to 135, 40 degrees like you cook it at home.
Because that's
It's
what I like. I
always-
like medium rare.
It's always, yeah. But at a restaurant, they tend to undercook. And I've done this forever. I just want a little pink in the middle.
See, I like blood.
Blood is okay depending on what kind of cut it is. Like if it's a prime rib, absolutely. If it's a prime rib, I'm ordering it medium rare for sure. But this thing comes out, it's burnt to a crisp, but not in a good way. Like sometimes you get the char on the outside and it's really good, and it might be a little bit too done on the outsides, but this is a thick piece of meat. Thick, really thick. This is like several inches thick, okay? 35 ounces.
It's thick meat.
It
A lot
is
of girth.
It is just brown. It's like if I had to picture how this steak was cooked, this $150 steak, I would say that 3 hours before we got there, they took this steak, they put it in an oven. They just didn't season it, just threw it in an oven and just let it sit there for an hour. Pulled it out, had it sit in the room temperature, threw it on a plate, and 2 hours later served it to us. I was so flabbergasted and stunned by this that when the waiter came back to check to see if it was okay, I was just like, yeah, it's good. It's good. All good. And so then you're done. You can't do anything about it. You can't say this is horrible. I need something else. I need a refund. We just had to eat it.
Literally?
Yeah. It was bad. Bad.
Did it give you the runs?
$150, man. No, it didn't do anything. It was just terrible. It had no seasoning, nothing. It just tasted like almost like it was from a rotten cow.
Like the
Bad
meth
cow. Like a
Yeah.
cow that maybe lived like 20 years longer than it should have. It was
Those
like a
things-
60-year-old cow.
Those cows are real too. When you have
Elderly cow.
Yeah, when you buy the beef straight from the farmer, you ever do that?
No.
Like not all these cows are in the cut is the butcher is really the key. Did you know that? The
Yeah.
butcher is just massive.
you need a good butcher. Mm-hmm. I was totally had.
When did they raise the price of meat that much at Outback?
This was not Outback. This was a certified steakhouse at a place that was ranked the #1 new restaurant in Palm Beach County.
Wow. You know, you can
a
just
year ago.
destroy them on Yelp, right?
I'm not gonna. I'm not.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying to do it. I'm saying you could.
I know, but I'm not like that. And
Yeah, don't be like those people that ruined Snow White on IMDb. By the way, I watched that movie this weekend.
Great movie.
Of course,
Great
you did.
movie. Yeah.
Snow Woke.
It's funny. My kids were watching that this weekend too. I didn't watch
It's
it
on
again.
Disney Plus now.
Oh,
Van Woke went to the he had a big Saturday. Went to
Yeah,
the
it
No
has
Kings protest, and then he went and watched Snow Woke.
It has a 1.2 rating on IMDb.
I still like. I don't understand, and maybe I'm just totally naive. How anybody could watch that movie and be like, "Oh," and like it's a big political statement. I don't understand it. Maybe
one
I'm
thing
that dumb.
The one thing that still bothered me is they didn't use real little people. The animated little people kind of threw me off, but
That's
it was a good
messed up.
movie.
I saw a terrible movie over the weekend at theaters.
What'd you watch?
Oh, it. So I took one for the team.
These are the worst.
My wife comes out of her office on Friday, and she's like, "You want to see a movie tonight?" I said, "What's out?" She said, "I would like to see this movie called Materialists." And I look it up, and it's clearly a chick flick.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds like it.
It's described as an American romance film. Has Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans. But it has really good reviews. Like 7 out of 10 IMDb, 86% Rotten, 70% Metacritic, 78% Google. I'm thinking, yeah, Pedro Pascal is in it too, I guess.
His name is Daddy? Middle name is Daddy?
So I said, yeah, but what? I didn't really want to go on Friday night, but I said she really wanted to, so whatever. So we go. It was horrible. It was a terrible movie. Nothing even happened in it. And my wife actually agreed with me that it was awful. We couldn't wait until the end of the movie. And all I do the rest of the weekend as I'm scrolling social media, I'm seeing, oh, it's just so good. Oh, Chris Evans' monologue at the end. You just have to be so heartbroken for him. You know, he's been through so much, and it's just not going to work out for him. Give me a break. The movie sucked. Even my wife agreed.
Kind of like Prognosis Negative.
So, yeah, don't go see The Materialist. I feel like I'm on a bad run of restaurants and movies. We did kind of redeem our movie experience on Saturday night. We came home after the horrible steak, and we watched a movie called Plane. It's just called Plane. I had never heard of it. It came out 2 years ago. I think it's on Netflix. It has Gerard Butler, and it keeps your attention the whole movie. It's about a plane crash where the people have to crash land on an island, and the island
I've seen that.
Run by misfits.
I've seen that. And then
You've seen that movie?
Yeah, yeah.
I had never heard of it.
A couple years old, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
2023.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's
this
not bad.
Gerard Butler, man, everything that sumbitch touches turns into gold.
I hadn't seen him for a while.
He was in that Greenland movie. You ever seen Greenland?
He's in How to Train Your Dragons, or it's out right now too.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Speaking of movies, we're doing that giveaway with Murph and Andy and
yeah, I'm looking forward to F1.
F1, man. We get they keep giving away tickets. I'm not going to step on Keith's toes here. He's the movie guy. But we're doing the worldwide
every
premiere.
show.
Yeah, the contest on Murph and Andy at the Palms down in West Des Moines. I'll be there that night. I can't wait. When I go to that movie, should I wear an F1 t-shirt, or would that be like wearing the artist shirt to the concert?
Like it just says F, like an F1
no, like
movie
my
t-shirt?
team. I'm a Red Bull guy. Like
No, I think we do that.
Okay. I think I'm going to.
Yeah, I think that's all right.
I didn't watch a swing of the golf club all weekend. So
I watched everything.
Well, you
I
guys
loved it.
made me so jealous because I'm at this dance recital all day yesterday. All day. Got there at noon, got home at 10:30. Okay. And you guys, I keep checking the old Donnie Hassel group chat. Oh my God, this is amazing. They're all struggling so bad.
This is why the U.S. Open is often my favorite event of the year in golf,
But it didn't look like it on Thursday. It was like, oh, this is like a normal tournament, and then it kind of turned, right? Is that accurate?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, nobody went crazy on Thursday other than J.J. Spaun, who jumped out to a great start, had the lead after day one, and my dad in the chat said he won't even make the cut. I said, he's going to have to shoot 85 to miss the cut. Sure enough, he makes the cut. He's in it all weekend, but then he fades early Sunday. The course was really difficult, and then the rains started, and it made the thick, lush grass even harder to deal with. And the only player that really took advantage after the 90-minute delay was Spaun, who turned everything around and then makes the longest putt of the week.
Is he good?
He had not done anything before this for the most part.
I never heard of him.
He had never finished top 20 in a major before this. And so that's why everybody's thinking he's gonna fade. And he did at first, but then stuck with it. I mean, this guy's been through a lot. I was reading about 3 or 4 years ago, he got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And he starts treatment for it, and it's just going downhill. He's not getting any better. And his golf game is getting worse. He finds out like a year later they misdiagnosed him. He has type 1 diabetes.
Diabetes.
Which apparently is treated way different from type 2.
Really?
So they start treating him for that, and he starts to get things going.
It's kind of a big error, right?
A big error, yeah. Dr. Van Nostrand, I think, was the one who misdiagnosed him. So earlier in the year, he gets into a playoff at the Players' Championship, the 5th major, a huge event, and loses to McElroy in the playoff. I said he learned a ton from that, and clearly he used that in the U.S. Open yesterday. But I just love that everybody was just failing miserably. That's what I want my U.S. Open champion to be the only one under par. Mm-hmm. Even par should win the U.S. Open.
I think Spaun bogeyed 5 holes on the front 9 on Sunday.
Yeah, 5 of the first 6, I think.
Crazy.
5 of the first 6 holes he bogeyed.
Crazy that he could stay with it.
Fell 5 strokes back or so.
Then he birdied 5 on the back.
So, again, and I'm just kind of watching from afar all weekend, really. The leaderboard was never really full of anyone of significance, right?
Mm-mm. Never.
I wonder what the TV ratings will be.
I
wonder
question.
if, do those people just keep watching because it's a major, or does...
Well, it kept my attention because of how difficult it was. It didn't really bother me that we didn't have any big names on the first page of the leaderboard.
Scotty was what?
Scheffler was always 10? He was always right there. Like he was always
a
few birdies away from being right. He just never got it going. John Rahm ended up with a good final round, but he was never really in it either. Koepka was in it going into the weekend, but ended up falling back.
Hovland was right there.
Yeah, Hovland is like an up-and-comer, a guy that will be a major champion very soon. Mm-hmm. This is one of the rare events where it didn't even matter to me that there wasn't a big name up there because the golf was so compelling and the course was kicking their ass so badly.
That's
what I was watching for.
Yeah, you wanted.
Yeah, I
blood.
could not take my eyes off this thing, and I thought it was fantastic.
Carnage. Thanks to our friends at Freedom Tire for sponsoring us here on Chris and Chris, Iowa, everywhere. You can go all over the Des Moines Metro. Don't, you hear tire in the name, and they do have tires, and you can buy your tires from there. We encourage you to buy your tires from there, but they can also just take care of your vehicle for you, and they're locally owned. Really good people, and they support us, so you guys should support them. Also thank our friends at Game Day Men's Health, of course. Go in and let them test out your levels. Just see where you're at. Maybe you don't need testosterone replacement therapy. Maybe you do. Maybe it'll change your life.
So
Maybe
what are you going to do? You're going to have to take your shot with you down to South Florida this week?
Yeah, that's right.
You usually get it on Thursday or Friday, right?
I usually get it on Thursday. There's a 24-hour rule, so I'm going to go in and get it and administer it to myself tomorrow Wednesday morning before we leave. So when I see you Friday.
What do you mean there's a 24-hour rule?
Yeah, you can like if you'd usually take it on Thursday at noon, you can take it on like Wednesday at noon too, or Friday at noon.
But couldn't you wait until your regular time to shoot
I
yourself up?
but I don't really want to mess around with smuggling needles through the airport.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Yeah, I wouldn't screw around with that either.
But the good thing is when I see you, I will be peak testosterone.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing.
We'll just do a push-up contest at your pool. How about that?
How many
While we're
push-ups
eating
do you think you could do in a row without stopping?
I could do close to 100.
Oh, you cannot.
We'll do it on Friday.
I got to see these push-ups. There's no way you can do 100 push-ups in a row. Stop it.
I think I could.
There's a game day in Delray Beach right there.
Oh, I could just go right over to Delray and get teed up.
Right there, Hassel.
Yeah.
You know where that is? That close to you?
It's probably 10, 15 minutes.
There you go. Williams, when you were up on that stage yesterday, where you told us on Thursday, every time you're around someone, you just say,
Yeah.
oh, this guy needs...
Just looking around. He needs tea.
Yeah.
He needs tea.
A few guys on that stage need some tea, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Send them in a game day.
A lot of estrogen?
Well, it's an Ankeny dance studio, so they can go right across the street and just go to Game Day Men's Health before they go to the dance with their daughters. Let's do Triple B. You let me right into it. Kelderman Manufacturing.
Bigger, better, bolder. Built by Kelderman Manufacturing.
Dance dads.
Double D's.
Do you know, like, it's such a conflicting thing when you're at this dance recital for an entire day. So some guys are there for 2 full days because their daughters are older and they will be in every recital.
What, it's not just one dance?
Oh, no. No. There's like, I don't know, Matt, what, 50 in a recital? Like, how many dances
Yeah, I
are
mean,
there?
God, it was Saturday, Sunday dances all day. From
Yeah,
like
so there's
1:30
4
to-
recitals for the one studio the entire weekend.
I mean, you got kids from age 5 to 18 dancing, Hassel. So,
Oh, my God.
yeah, look at our girls.
So, anyways. I was thinking about this. These kids, they work really hard. This is a massive commitment, Hassel. Yeah, my daughters have gone 2 days a week since September to train for this. So I'm giving a shout out to the dance kids. You know who else I wanted to give a shout out is the boys who do dance. You got to really be committed. They are badasses. Like Matt, you saw those boys that are up there are unbelievable dancers.
Oh yeah, I mean, these are the guys that you'll see on the sidelines
Oh.
on college football Saturdays.
They're
holding
incredible.
Up those cheerleaders. Yeah, they're really good.
I mean, they're out there bebopping and scatting all over that stage. They're flipping. Like, it's unbelievable.
Did
So
you
there
have
you
any male leaders at your high school in Clarinda?
What do you mean, male leaders?
Male cheerleaders?
No,
Yeah, we didn't either.
they didn't. Not in Clarinda.
Do high schools have that now? There were never any men or boys on the cheerleading team or the dance team.
I'm sure they're available.
Available?
That's a thing at Iowa State now. There's a bunch of boys on the dance team. And Iowa has one because that kid got hurt, remember? He was doing the flips in the basketball game, and he
That's not the dance team. Those are male cheerleaders. They're not part of the dance team.
there's boys on the dance team at Iowa State.
Stop it.
Yeah, there are. There's a couple of them. They do
Wait,
great. They're really good dancers.
What do they wear?
Cheerleading outfits? I don't know.
I've never seen a male
my-
on the dance team at Iowa State.
My point is, if you're going to be a boy doing dance, because it goes against societal norms, right or wrong, it's not my commentary, you got to really want to do it, and you're a freaking badass out there. That's my point.
Van
These
Woke
kids
was
are
pissed that he
unbelievable.
didn't have a boy because he was going to force him into dancing.
All right, there you go. I
So
wanted to
that's
give a
your
shout
triple
out-
B?
these dance kids, yeah, and the dance dads. I'm representing the Ankeny Dance Performing Arts. What is it called? Ankeny Dance. The Caitlin and her they did an amazing job.
People are giving us crap for dance on Father's Day, but I kind of like that. I kind of like watching my daughter dance on Father's Day.
Yeah, it's like because there's nothing better about being a father than watching your kids do something they love.
Yes.
Like that's the best part of being a dad.
Are you sure they like it?
When they get to be Cameron's age, they start to like debate it a little bit more. But it's her decision. Like I'm not forcing. Elise loves it. Cammie's kind of like, yeah, I kind of like this part of it. I kind of like that part of it. I don't think she'll be like ever the kid that's doing like competition and stuff like that. But I don't care about that. So there you go, dance dads.
All right.
Happy Father's Day, dads.
I'm going back to the U.S. Open for my Triple B, and it was the rain delay coverage. And this kind of goes against what I think you would normally think in a rain delay coverage on Sunday, halfway through the final round of the U.S. Open. You're thinking, well, maybe interview the players. Let's go to highlights. Let's break things down. Where do we stand right now? No, NBC went straight immediately, like a minute after the delay, went straight to coverage of the 2008 U.S. Open, which was the greatest U.S. Open of all time, won by Tiger Woods in a Monday playoff against Rocco Mediate. And the lasting image is his tying putt at the 72nd hole, and that's the image I believe Matt is showing here as he holds it from 12 feet to force that playoff. But what I loved about it is they went back to Saturday of that round, which, because of how that finished up with Woods's, his injuries, he's limping around, and the putt at the 72nd, and then the playoff, you almost forget that his Saturday back nine to put himself in position was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen on a golf course. They pick it up with him hitting his second shot at a par 5 at Torrey Pines from way right of the fairway. He's in like where the fans are. It's all trampled down. And he just smokes this shot right at the pin. It almost lands in the cup, rolls over the green. He comes up there and makes a 55-footer for eagle. Then they cut ahead to later in the round where he's on 15 or 16. He's missed the green. He's got this awkward stance. He's got the injury to his leg, which is a broken leg. So he's having a hard time even getting his stance right. And he chips it in for birdie. Then he eagles the 18th hole with another unbelievable putt. And it reminds you how great he was and how many of his moments you almost forget because he had so many of them, even in the same tournament. This was one of the greatest sports weekends ever that Tiger Woods had in 2008.
That one, too, was so compelling because it was against Rocco Mediate.
Yeah, right.
Like this old guy who is a total underdog. You had the greatest of all time, coming at him in the finals. Like a playoff. And at that time, too, you have to put yourself back into the moment. If you weren't a Tiger person, because he was kind of polarizing at the time because he was just so dominant. So you started to have people like, oh, I'm rooting for Mickelson, right? Just because they wanted to see somebody else win.
I never understood people like that.
Well, there are a lot of them there. But then you had like the ultimate underdog and Rocco Mediate.
And he had a similar duel with Bob May at I think it was the 99 PGA Championship.
Bob Cobb.
But that I would love to see the numbers. Like, did they really lose that many people during the rain delay when they went to that? Because I didn't turn away. I didn't go do something else.
Brilliant move.
I just sat my ass on that couch and watched Tiger Woods because that was 17 years ago now. it's so long ago now that you forget a lot of these other moments from that very same tournament. And it's not just that putt at the 72nd that we should remember from that. Just ultimate Tiger mania.
You said one of the greatest moments in golf history. That's one of the best performances in sports history, I would argue.
Absolutely. With his broken leg, doing all that, playing all those extra holes, the playoff on Monday. I mean,
unbelievable.
That's when they played 18 holes on Monday in a playoff. And the last time they ever did that.
Those
they changed
playoffs
that
are that's compelling stuff too. When it's just mano a mano for the win, hole by hole, nothing else going on.
I was working at WHO, and I remember watching that in the sports office on Sunday, and then Monday, NBC had daytime coverage of the tournament.
I remember exactly where I was watching that. I bet a lot of our people here do too. Matt, what are you going with?
Estos?
No, I was in Shenandoah, Iowa, working
Shenandoah.
for KMA Radio at the time. Remember watching it during the day. It was awesome.
Before I get to my triple B, we have some breaking news.
Oh.
Joey Chestnut is returning to the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest.
Ugh,
Remember he was banned last year? Remember that?
Yeah, like for Pete, did he do like steroids?
No, it was he had a sponsorship of his own that like didn't fit with
that 30 for 30 on the hot dog contest. Everybody should watch that.
I will not watch it.
It is the guy.
Kobayashi.
It's not even about the hot dogs, Chris. It's about the
rivalry.
commercialization of it, and like Kobayashi got like exiled, and like it's crazy. It's freaking crazy. Like it's only one of those like 50-minute ones. It's absolutely worth your time.
The pride of San Jose, California, Joey Chestnut, my boy. Anyway, I'm going to give my triple B to Jake Brend. Signed off from Channel 5 yesterday. I didn't I kind of forgot.
How big is that coat he's wearing? Look at that thing.
That was Walter's old coat, I think.
Look how long those arms are.
This is the lasting image we have of Jake Brend in his Iowa Sportscaster of the Year career at WOI.
Looks
is him
good
wearing
there.
an XXL rain jacket.
So I knew he was Murph's intern at 13, but I forgot that he was still in college at Simpson when he started at Channel 5. That's awesome.
Was he really?
Yeah. Yeah, he was a senior during his first year at Channel 5.
How did he pull that off?
In a frat, too. Like
He's a really hardworking guy.
He's a super hardworking guy.
I did not know that.
Anytime he covers a game, he just does such a good job of summarizing it, putting out clips and stuff that we use on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to give
Can
him a
hear
shout
him
out.
on Iowa Everywhere.
Bigger than 12.
That's a great podcast, too. I love it.
We have really good shows, man. The Keith and Jenny show is awesome this week.
I just finished the show this morning. And it's weird, though, to listen to, because I was so busy watching the U.S. Open over the weekend. Normally, I'll listen to it on Friday or Saturday. But to listen to a happy hour show where they're celebrating the start of the weekend and it's Monday morning. I'm just waking up on a Monday morning. I go, oh, God.
Boy,
to go back.
That Jenny's a wildcat, I tell you.
Yeah, she is.
They kind of towed the line with those jean.
Oh my
jean
God!
shorts. Like,
did you see those, Williams?
Yeah, it was near Vagina. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
In fact, I woke up to a text today from our social media person at HQ, and it's just a link to the Iowa Everywhere post of these shorts.
We are not a publicly traded company. We can post whatever the hell we want.
Oh God.
We do have a super chat. Matt, can you look this up for Shay?
I think I know the answer.
Shay
Shay
wants
is
to know.
asking, when did the U.S. Open change the playoff rule? Used to be a Monday 18-hole playoff. Now I think it's a 2-hole aggregate. I think they went to that in 2018. We did that. The Tiger was the last 18-hole playoff in 2008.
All right, I want to hit on Connor McCaffrey coming up in this tweet. I want to do my going long here first to thank our friends from Wealth Charter Retirement and Tax.
It's time to go long with Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Looking forward to this, going to lunch with them tomorrow. Learn more about their company, but never too early to plan your future. This is something that like every 20-year-old needs to just wring their neck and explain to them. Every single one of them. they should be tortured until they understand the importance of investing early. Like honestly, like we should.
I was too
physically
late. Like
torture them.
I didn't invest right away when I started that WHO out of college. I wish I would have.
I should have started.
I waited
early.
a few.
Everybody,
years.
yeah. Okay, so I was reading The Athletic last night. This time of year, it's like it's hard to find compelling topics when there's not realignment. And well, I clicked on. I thought it was interesting that Tyrese Halliburton signed a deal with Puma for these new shoes, right? That they have recently debuted. Well, The Athletic did a piece on this about how these players now, Chris, are choosing lower or lesser brand shoes, like companies. So like not Adidas, not Nike.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going with these lesser known brands because they have more control over the shoe, over the logo, over the look, over ultimately their name, image, and likeness with the shoe. Couple examples here. And I didn't know any. I'm not in the shoe culture. I bet like Aiden and Cade Murphy and these kids are going to be like, they probably know all this. This is fascinating to me. So Halliburton's with Puma. You've got Shea, SGA is with Converse. Kyrie Irving recently, now his was because of the whole anti-Semite tweet thing with the documentary or whatever it was. He's with a group called Anta, A-N-T-A. Kawhi, excuse me. Kawhi Leonard left Nike for
hang on a second.
New Balance.
Kyrie Irving is an anti-Semite. Is that what you're saying? And
he posted that like controversial tweet, and Nike let him go.
Oh, Nike let him go, so he went to a new, and it's called Anta, whatever that. I've never heard of that.
I'm not calling him an anti-Semite. Okay. For the record, I'm saying that there was that whole controversy, and then they broke up. Kawhi left Nike for New Balance. Cameron Brink just signed with New Balance. Joel Embiid and Julius Randle are with Skechers. That's whose shoes they wear when they're out there. Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Spencer Dinwiddie are with a group called 361 Degrees. And this is like the trend now because these guys who maybe they're not Caitlin Clark, like the megastar, the Jordan, who are going to just bring in tens of millions of dollars. They can they earn more and they have more control over their brand when they go with these smaller shoe brands. So I'm going long on these brands that keep kind of popping up here. It's really, really interesting from a business side.
And look at Caitlin Clark and what's happened with her shoe. Where the hell is it? Where is Caitlin's signature shoe? This is part of the problem, and part of the reason that this is happening is because you don't have control over it. Like, what is Nike doing? What are they waiting for?
Yeah.
This should have been ready to go right when she hit the WNBA.
Well, and then correct me if Matt, I feel like you'd be up on this. So Tyrese, they are hammering it now. His new shoe. Yeah,
he's been with Puma for a while. I mean, I think he's been with Puma for maybe a year doing commercials. Remember his dad was in that commercial with him.
Yeah, but like Puma, part of this article is like how much they've invested over the last like week.
Well, because he's
and like pushing
right
this. It's
they got to get it out now.
Boy, it's really and Chris, I just gave you like a handful of names that I thought were interesting. Like there are like hundreds of athletes that are doing this now, and they I'm sure if Tyrese got a call to get a Caitlin Clark deal from Nike, he would take it because the money's there. But the fact is there's just not that many athletes at that level. So the ones that are at like the Tyrese level, the Kawhi Leonard level, are opting to go down to have more control over it and ultimately be able to make more money. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, it is. Wow, what a performance by Clark over the weekend, too.
Oh, she was unbelievable.
She returns after missing, I think it was 5 games, and I thought that was the most impressive performance as a pro that she had against the 9-0 New York Liberty. She comes out, hits 7 threes. A bunch of them were way behind the line. 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. She shot over 50% from the floor. And the Fever make a huge statement and blow out the Liberty. I mean, that's as good as it gets. And to do that after missing all those games, and she was kind of on a little bit of a minutes restriction. I mean, they were taking her out, I think, a little bit more than they would have because she hadn't played in so long. But my God, that's what she does. I mean, Keith and Andy talk about this all the time on Murphy and Andy. I'm sure they're going to mention it again today. Anytime there's a moment for her to rise to the occasion, or just like a big spotlight moment, she not only rises to the occasion, but goes above and beyond that. This was her return. Finally, she's coming back, and it's against the 9-0 defending champions.
The team to beat.
And she puts on an absolute show. Stunning how she can continue to do this throughout her career.
I bet the ratings go up, too, for the WNBA when she returns. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, well, the ratings were down 55% when she wasn't there. That would be a highly rated game.
There's other stuff going on. The weather's been nice. Everybody's always trying to make an excuse how it's not Caitlin that drives the revenue and the ratings in that league. Mm-hmm. It's funny to me. Speaking of her, well, okay, real quick. Halliburton tonight. Series tied 2-2. OKC favored by 9.5 tonight.
This series feels over to me.
Have you looked at the line? Did you look at my rundown?
No.
The series line. What do you think? Give me a money line on OKC to win the series right now. What would you put it at?
Minus 500.
You're really close. Minus 450. You got to go. You go plus 350 for the Pacers.
They missed the opportunity. They had it. They were up late in Game 4, and they couldn't close the deal. And I'm worried that that's going to be it. I picked the Thunder in 6 to start this series, and I think that's what it's going to be. They needed to win Game 4 and couldn't get it done. I don't think it's going to be close tonight. I hope I'm wrong.
9.5. It is staggering how lopsided these lines have all been in this series, but it shows exactly what you told us a week ago when this was starting. What your friends at Sportsline, the 15-2 seed has been really ringing in my head.
Look, the Pacers have been really good. I mean,
they have earned their stripes. They've shown themselves to be a. I don't know. I would take the points tonight.
I mean, they've proven that they can play with OKC for the most part, but
the problem
I just
is
feel like they lost their chance.
Well, and the issue is always for underdogs in these series, and this is why I like the 7 games. It's easy. It's easier for the underdog to win early in the series than it is because there's a reason why OKC was as good as they were. I mean, we're really historically one of the great teams in NBA history during the regular season. Now, I could argue that their youth and the way that they play and stuff, I don't necessarily know if they were as good as the Bulls and the Warriors and those squads, but they're
not.
Yeah, but their record, I'm saying if you just look at in load management, that era, it's a totally different
analytics and all that, yeah.
Their record will say in the history of the NBA that they were in that conversation. But I don't know. I feel you look at the Pacers and it's the way that they're built. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. This could be a deal where they're a lot better at the end of this, and we'll see. Did you see the Connor McCaffrey tweet over the weekend that was since deleted?
I did. He's had quite a few tweets lately that he's deleted.
And we kind of debated if we were even going to bring this up, but a lot of people are talking about it, and you do, I think, have to factor in the fact that he is with Caitlin Clark, and it's a public relationship, and that's part of the story, and this is just bizarre behavior from him.
So he tweets, and he's since deleted it. I don't know why people still yell "Go Hawks" when they see me, and he has a crying face emoji, a laughing crying face emoji. No, go Dogs, go Quakers, go Fever. Okay, let's break this down. His dad is the all-time winningest coach at Iowa. Coached there 15 years. Generational wealth thanks to his job at Iowa. Connor comes in, plays for 6 years at Iowa? Was a
Did he
part
play
of some
6? I knew 5.
really good teams.
Yeah, I knew he was there a long time. Yeah. NCAA
And
tournaments.
he is dating the greatest Hawkeye of all time. For you to be surprised that someone would come up to you and say, "Go Hawks," and be offended by that? What? And look, I get that there's hard feelings. I get it because your dad wanted to keep coaching there, thought he had earned the right to keep coaching there, but this was a move that had to be made. It's business. He was there 15 years. It ran its course. For that to...
Should be grateful to be there for that long.
Absolutely. I don't quite grasp why that family is so upset, because it worked out pretty damn well. Okay, 15 years, you got a long leash.
Got one extension he
You
should
got-
have never even gotten.
A golden parachute out of there, and then gets to return to his alma mater to finish his coaching career at Penn. Times are pretty good. And this goes back to when this all happened. We talked on this show. We wondered, like, what when Caitlin Clark, every time she's come back to Carver, he's been with her. Like, he's always sitting there next to her. But what's going to happen now? When she comes back next season, is he going to come? I don't think so. I mean, I think
Which is really too bad. Like, it's a shame.
Yeah. I mean, he's a Hawkeye.
Like, the definition, like, gave over a half decade of his life to... And Connor, like crap like this or not, like, he played a really, like, not sexy role on those teams. Like, not fun. Like, he, didn't really shoot. Just kind of bulldogged his way around.
But a lot
there.
of fans liked that. He was kind of he wasn't a great player, but he filled a role on the team that the team needed. And I thought fans, for the most part, were extremely fair to him.
It's another part of the McCaffrey thing too, where it's startling how the opportunity. I just interviewed Paul Rhodes for the book that I've been working on for like 3 years. I interviewed Paul like a month ago, and similar deal where he gets shown. I've never met a coach that got fired that thinks that they deserved it.
Right.
Like, Steve Prohm could not understand after he went 0-19 how he could have been shown the door at the time. Okay, so like this is like a common, and you have to understand this is his dad. Kind of raw about it, whatever. Like, all of that is true. But like Paul Rhodes was able to say to me, the fact that I was able to stand on the same sideline as my sons, as they were walk-ons there. They were not scholarship. They were walk-on special teams players. Good high school players. They walk-on material. And he goes, the fact that I was able to do that, how could I be negative about any of this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I mean, it's just an absolute blessing that I was able to coach my kids and stand there, and my dad was able to be there and watch us. The entitlement that comes from that tweet is sickening to me.
And it's not the first.
No,
tweet of his
I mean,
that's been like
that's the
this.
problem. It's a pattern, Chris.
It
like,
is.
this isn't, and then you delete it and act, oh yeah, no, like it. And then the problem is there's still a lot of Iowa fans that will be like, well, this is why he left. Like, you're all, this is why they're mad. Like, no, this happens everywhere. But it's also part of when you sign up to be a Division I head coach, you're going to take shit from fans. That is part of the deal. Like it or not. If you're going to take the check, there's a lot of pressure that goes in with it. And you got to be able to deal with it. And if I'm advising Connor, I don't know him. I'm sure he's a nice young man. You're not making your girlfriend's life any better.
That's a good point. I'm surprised that they didn't see it coming. Like, it seemed like they were blindsided. The entire family was blindsided by Iowa moving on from him. I don't understand that. How is that possible? We all saw this coming months in advance. This was happening. You weren't going to go play in that, whatever the hell that tournament was in Vegas, even though Fran kept saying they were. This was happening, and it's not because you're a failure at Iowa and everybody hates you. No, it's because it was time. That's it. 15 years. You can only live off the back of what happened with Licklider for so long, and it just runs its course. The fans weren't showing up. There was apathy. Look at how much more money has now been infused into the program just by making this move. I hope that 10 years down the road, they can make amends. They can, in their own minds. I hope that they don't think back to this time and think it was all bad because of how it ended.
I hope it heals.
Pretty much every coaching job ends like this.
It doesn't have to be that way in the future, right? Again, like the dad in me, I could put myself in his shoes and be jaded because you don't have the perspective of time on earth yet, right? He's still in his 20s. Like he's grown up with a very privileged life. Like to really sit down and be like, man, like. But I hope in 10 years that family can come back to Iowa and be recognized as the all-time winningest coach in program history, and they can walk out there and wave at everybody and hopefully, right? Like right. You hope that happens. Like I don't think, I don't know it. And maybe, I just use Paul Rhodes as an example. Maybe he doesn't say that to me the year after he's fired at Iowa State too. Like he's had that 10 years to sit back, right?
It's still raw.
Yeah, I get it. I get that.
You can't.
The fact that he's so publicly tied to Caitlin is what makes this a story.
The thing. Yeah,
that's the only thing that makes this a story.
Right. Because he would be a total afterthought if that wasn't the case. But you still see him every time they show a shot of Caitlin in the suite or on the court at a game. He's right there, and now what does this do? Well, this now opens him up for Iowa fans who are pissed to now, when they see him, they'll be combative and they'll say, "Go Hawks." It's like when you're a kid and you're like, "No, that's not my nickname. Don't call me Butt Boy. I don't like being called Butt Boy."
That kid with the Oreo.
You're going to call him Butt Boy for the rest of time. Oreo Boy?
Yeah, did he call you Butt Boy?
I don't want to be called Oreo Boy. Oh, you're Oreo Boy.
Yeah, the problem is, though, Chris, that when that was sent to me on Saturday, it didn't surprise me at all.
No.
I was like, well, that's on brand.
Agreed.
And this is part of the reason why the fatigue was there from the kid tweets throughout the years didn't help the old man. Right? Like there are already enough people looking for ammo, and then it's just sometimes it's like it's better to just stop. But whatever. I don't want to. Again, it didn't surprise me. That's the biggest problem.
Go Hawks.
You will not get me to say that, but if I said that, it'd be all over the internet. Matt, we're giving away some tickets to the Kings of the West tour. This is going to be sick. We're going for Van Wink's birthday. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Get up, get up, get up.
They got a Father's Day special that goes through today at 10 o'clock. So if you want to go to this concert, buy one, get one free. HighVTix.com.
Dude.
I'll be there.
I'm going to this.
Heck yeah.
I can't frickin' wait.
Wake up, wake up.
E40, when E40's out there singing, Matt's just going to go crazy.
Everybody got choices.
Also want to thank them, the Abgun Kaburski brothers. Called Alex the other day because they, they did my landscaping last year. Mm-hmm. And they had a very nice kind of mulch.
Yep.
That I couldn't find the perfect match. Like in stores. They match
your mulch?
Yeah, they matched my mulch. Nice. That's the type of service you get from the Kaburski Brothers Lawn Care.
Carpet and the drapes.
I felt bad. The Kaburskis were over the other day, and I had the kids play water stuff out in the backyard, and I didn't realize they were coming. and he had to go around it. And I think I was doing the show with you guys on Thursday when they were here, and I ran upstairs and I pulled the stuff in, and he came out and used that little hand crank to get the little spot that he
that's
missed.
nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice of them to
Appreciate
do that.
that.
All right. Well, good show, fellas. Good show. Remember, we are looking for some questions. Anything goes for Thursday's show. Send them to Van Winks on the Twitter at Iowa Everywhere.
Anything goes, huh?
Well,
You guys aren't going to let me talk about the big Giants.
oh
move.
my! I had a take on this.
I should have just made it my triple B, but
I had a take on this.
Did
Can
you
we do
even
it?
give a triple B?
me? It
Yeah.
was Brend.
Brent?
Oh, okay.
Can I give a really 2-minute take? Do you have 2 minutes?
Yeah. I want to hear your
Oh,
thoughts on this.
God.
No, I think
Seriously?
this is fascinating. Is it Devers or Devers, Matt?
Devers.
Devers. Rafael Devers traded to the Giants, Matt's team, the Giants. I had 2 takes on this. One, I'm guessing most of our audience doesn't even know who he is, which is crazy because he's a really good player in Major League Baseball. He's like
One of the
all-pro.
best hitters.
Yeah, one of the best. 2, Hassel, do you remember when we were kids how big of a deal the trade deadline was in MLB trades? Do you remember the
Yeah.
day Mark McGwire got traded to the Cardinals? It was like the biggest sports
Oh, my
news in
God.
5 years.
Well, that's why this is crazy because it happened so far ahead of the deadline.
Yeah.
This
It just-
these deals never get done this early. so.
But he must have really hated Boston.
There was some, yeah.
I think it was Boston didn't like him.
It was
Oh,
both
really?
ways. It was
I
both
think,
ways.
yeah, I think the team just got tired of dealing with whatever was coming with him, and
Well,
so they shipped him out.
He was a third baseman, and they wanted to move him to first. He said no, so he
Yep.
was just a DH all year. So that's the thing with the Giants. They take on $250 million for a guy who's basically going to be a DH. So better work out.
I think they need to put him in the field and get him some exercise.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little worried about too. He can hit,
Fascinating
though.
that a guy with those numbers and it to me, and I'm in sports and I'm not what? I'm just locked into the NL East though. It's my problem. All right, appreciate you guys. Fun show. Busy day today. Murph and Andy at 1. We have Overthinking at noon. Both of those will be live on that YouTube feed that we're asking you to subscribe to. We'll be back on Thursday. Later.